I'm going to be ranking a bunch of Vim commands, not every single one because that would take way too long, but a pretty extensive and practical list. This should be helpful for beginners, intermediates, and maybe even advanced users. I'm approaching this from a developer's perspective, so everything in this video is ranked based on how useful it is for writing and editing code. Obviously, this is all just my opinion. If you have any thoughts or disagreements, please feel free to share in the comments. I'm going to quickly go over everything in this essentials tier. It's a bit of a special category that's filled with the basics, things that are essential to operate Vim. They're probably all S tier, but I'm not going to be ranking them because they are the basics. There is HJKL for cursor movement, A and I for entering insert mode, the Y commands for yanking, which is copying, D for deleting, keeping you in normal mode, and C commands for changing, which is like deleting, but it puts you in insert, W and B for moving forwards and backwards a word, X for deleting the character under your cursor, U for undo and Control R for redo, lowercase and capital O for putting a new line below and above your current position, and there's right quit, and quit. So that's everything in the essentials. Now we're moving on to the actual tier list. The first command we will be looking at is the dot or the period. This repeats whatever the last command was, and that's super helpful. It's going to save a bunch of keystrokes. It's the best command in Vim, and it's going in S tier. Next is slash and question mark for searching. And searching is how you move with intent in Vim, and that's very important to get down. You can use N and capital N to go to the next and previous occurrence. This is also S. A shortcut for searching is the asterisk and hashtag. It's a quick way to look for the next or previous occurrence of a word that's under your cursor. And you can also do N and capital N. It's kind of like the slash and question mark, but just a little bit of a shortcut on it. It is more situational though, because you have to be on that word that you're looking for. And so it's a super good command, but I'm going to put it into A tier. An alternative form of searching is the F and T commands. These are a single character search on your current line. And they're powerful, don't get me wrong, but everything you can do with these, you can do with the slash and question mark. With the slash and question mark searching, you use N and capital N. For the F and T, you use semicolon and comma, which is just a little bit less comfortable than the N. And all of that extra muscle memory to have all of these keys down is just not worth the benefit being not having to press enter. So these are going into C tier. The next command is a combo, but I'm still going to be ranking it because it's super powerful. N dot is great for jumping around your file and performing repeated changes. It's an S tier combo of these two up in S tier already. Macros are a more advanced feature. They allow you to record and replay a sequence of commands, and that's useful if you're doing the same thing multiple times or you need more power than N dot. That said, they're pretty situational. They're mostly useful during refactors or repetitive changes, and macros are good, but because those use cases don't come up all the time, I'm going to put them in A tier. Up next is a more simple command, R. It's perfect for fixing a single character or a single character typo, and it's B tier. R has a capital version that is very bad. It puts you into replace mode, so it's like R, but it moves you to the next character, and this is pretty much never helpful unless you're rewriting something with the exact same length. You're better off using other commands than this. D tier. Next is case changing commands. So there's tilde to swap the case. G lowercase u turns everything lowercase. G uppercase u turns everything uppercase. In my opinion, this is rarely useful. You could just get away with rewriting the word or replacing the character instead. C tier. Capital J joins the line below. And I really only use this when I'm refactoring argument lists that were spread across multiple lines. And this adds a space in, which is pretty annoying. This is also going to be C tier. The greater than and less than commands, indent and unindent, which is constantly useful in code. I'm going to be putting this in B tier because there's a better way. Double equals is auto indent. It figures out what's right for the line or block and it indents properly, which is what I want when editing indentation. It's going in S tier. Next is visual mode. So visual mode is intuitive, but it's less efficient than motions or counting. I'm thinking about doing a whole video on visual mode versus motions. I personally like visual mode because it gives you visual confirmation and it's very intuitive, but I do recognize that it's not ideal. For me, I'm going to put it into A tier. Marks allow you to bookmark a location in your file and then jump to it really quickly. It's nice if you're bouncing back and forth between several locations, but I rarely need to do this and I don't know ahead of time when I would want to do this. So I'm going to put it in C tier. Marks, but with uppercase letters, are like the normal marks, but they allow you to jump between different files. This is much more useful in real-world scenarios, so they're going in A. With all this cursor jumping, Vim includes a double single quote and a double backtick command to jump to your last location. Single quote is just the row, and then the backtick is the exact column as well. These can be nice and quick when you need them. I'll put it in B. GD and GR go to definition, go to reference. By default, these commands are limited to just a single file, which is pretty bad, but most environments will have an LSP powered version, which can go into different files. I'm ranking that souped up version, which is S tier. Like GD, capital K is pretty bad without an LSP upgrade. The default shows the man page of the word under the cursor, which is only useful if you're writing in C. But again, most environments using LSPs will have show documentation. So this is nice for looking at the function signature and reading which args you need to pass. And again, I'm ranking the LSP version of this, which will be B tier. Otherwise, it might be D or maybe even probably F. Line number GG or command and then line number jumps you to a specific line. This is a really efficient way to navigate around a file. I prefer the colon command version, so that way I can delete typos. This is S tier. G semicolon and G comma jump you to your last edit. So this is super nice if you want to go up and read some code and then go back to where you were editing previously. I'm going to put it in A. GG and capital G jump to the top and bottom of the file. This is nice to move really far across your file quickly. A tier. Capital H, M, and L move the cursor to the top, middle, or bottom of the screen. But if you can see where you want to go on your screen, you'd be better off using other movement commands. I have these bound to something else, so there's no demo. D tier. ZZ, ZT, and ZB recenter the screen. It's useful for keeping your focus in view without moving the cursor or scrolling with the mouse. And that's going to be A tier. Percent jumps between matching pairs like brackets or quotes, but only when you're on the right symbol. In practice, this is not the best. It's going to be a C tier. Braces jump between paragraph blocks, which is an empty line. It's better than spamming J or K, but more intentional navigation commands are going to be better. So this is going to go in B tier. Capital A and I jump to the end or start of the line and go into insert mode. I use these all the time. They're S tier. Capital W and capital B are like the lowercase versions, but they jump to the next empty space instead of a word. For coding, this is just too chaotic, so it's D tier. And the last command we're going to be looking at is text objects. So this is a pretty deep topic. They allow you to delete or yank exactly what you want in one go, like the contents of a string or what's between brackets or even whole code blocks. They're super powerful and belong in S tier. So that's a pretty solid list of Vim commands. If you have any S or A tier commands that I missed, please do share in the comments so we can all get better at Vim. Thanks.